Greeting everyone, I'm Kevin and today I'm going to talk to you about my reading goals for 2021. So my first goal for 2021, reading-wise, has to do with the Goodreads challenge. So my aim for 2021 is to read 100 books, and it's the first time I'm aiming to read 100 books. I have read, in 2020, I have read over 200 books. So I think that reading 100 books will be doable for me. My second goal is to read more nonfiction and anything nonfiction really, whether it be about certain topics or memoirs or just nonfictions generally. I want to pick up more nonfictions. My next goal has to do with the languages that I read in. So I primarily read in English. So I have as a goal for 2021 to read more books in Swedish, which is my first language, and German, which is my third language. So I want to read more Swedish literature in Swedish, and I want to read more German literature in German, or German translations of books I am familiar with, or Swedish translations of books I am familiar with that has another original language than Swedish or German. But I want to read more German and Swedish literature in those languages. Another goal that I have for 2021 is to read more books that has to do with Holocaust marginalized groups. And the reason I'm saying marginalized groups and Holocaust together is because usually when you talk about the Holocaust, you talk about the Jewish or the queer people or the disabled. That is something that I really want to read more about, the different experiences from these different groups of people. So we have also the Romani were targeted. Everyone who wasn't a white, Aryan, German were targeted. And because someone in my family had a part to play in the Holocaust, I feel also like I have a duty kind of, but also I want to learn about their experiences. My next two reading goals are a little bit weird to me, but I felt like I needed to put them on, and those are to read more female and female male romances. I usually don't read an adult romance if there's a woman part of it, because reading adult romances includes most likely sex scenes. And as an asexual, I don't want that. But as a trans asexual, it's extremely dysphoric to read about the female genitals and a sexual situation, because both I'm asexual, so I'm no, but that it's a biological female body, but it's dysphoric for me and I don't know how to explain it. So that is one reason why I shy away from reading adult female or adult female male. But that is something that I want to read because I do enjoy it. Whenever I pick one up, I love it. So I know that I will love those books. That sounds really weird. The next goal, I think Gavin will be very proud of me because I included middle grade, because I do enjoy middle grade, but it's a very unconscious decision that I make when I pick up a middle grade book or buy a middle grade book. I have several middle grade books actually, but I haven't picked them up yet. But middle grade, definitely I want to read more middle grade. I want to read more children's literature. Yeah. The next goal that I have has a little bit to do with Holocaust marginalized groups, but this group of people they were marginalized in Sweden at the same time and for the same reasons that people were targeted in Germany. This group of people were affected by race biology, which was something that was popular for the Nazis. But in Sweden we had a race biology institute in Uppsala, which is just southwest of Stockholm, so very close to our capital city. This group of people that I'm talking about is the Sami. We have several indigenous peoples, and Sami is one of those. Hello, Editing Kevin here. So I said that the Sami is one, but the Sami actually have multiple different groups. So there are several different kinds of Sami. So the Sami isn't just one group of people, they are several groups of people. Just wanted to clarify that. And they were extremely targeted, and they still face a lot of issues because of the past cruelty of Scandinavians. Mostly Swedish. Sweden has been an ass to the Sami and to the Meänkieli as well. We have several official minority groups. We have 5 official minority groups and 5 official minority languages. And Sami and Meänkieli are part of those. And the other were also targeted, were a marginalized group targeted by the Holocaust. So I will include those, the Romani and the Jewish. But I want to read more about the Sami experience and that culture, because I didn't know Sweden had an indigenous people. I didn't know that Sweden had multiple indigenous peoples before I moved to Sundsvall, which was like 5 years ago. I was 18 when I moved here, and I didn't know we had indigenous people, multiple indigenous peoples in Sweden. Because when we talked about indigenous people in school growing up, we talked about the Aboriginals in Australia or the Native Americans. We never talked about the Sami, the Meänkieli. We never talked about them. And I want to learn about the Sami because I have a lot of catching up to do. Another goal that I have for 2021 is to read more graphic novels, because I can honestly say that I haven't read a single graphic novel since I was a kid, like a tween. I loved graphic novels by then, but I haven't read a single graphic novel since then, and that is something I would love to change. And if you watch my TBRC video where I play Yahtzee to determine my January TBR, I got the prompt graphic novel, and I decided on Illegal by Eowyn Colfer, Andrew Duncan, illustrated by Giovanni Regano. I will leave it in the cards to the video. I will leave it in the cards up there, so just click on it if you want the whole video. But that is a book that I'm going to read, so that would be the first graphic novel that I have read in a very long time. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to reading graphic novels because I feel like I've been missing out on them. So my last goal for 2021 that has to do with reading is to read at least 5 books over 500 pages. And the reason for this is that I have always had a very hard time reading long books, and for me a long book is over 300 pages. So if I see that a book is over 300 pages, or over like 360 pages, somewhere along those lines, if it's over 400 pages, I'm very like, I don't know if I should read this. So I tend to read below 400, so 300 something or 200 something. Those are like my general, the general amount of pages that I read. So I want to read at least 5 books that are above 500 pages. So that is it for my 2021 reading goals. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did enjoy it, please leave a like and a comment down below and subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you on Saturday. Bye!